Hey guys, today we're going to learn Leonard Cohen, Hallelujah. If you want a free course, go down to richcguitar.net. Let's jump into this. The first step to learn any song is to listen to the song, so let's do that. So it's good when you're listening to the song just to notice what's actually in the song. So you can hear that there's some synths, there's some backing vocals, but there isn't actually any guitar apart from bass guitar. Okay, so that's a good thing to note. So we're going to do our own guitar version of the song. So make sure you tune your guitar. This is a good website to use. Then let's look up the chords. I'm using Ultimate Guitar Tabs today. Best thing to do is to find the one with the most amount of reviews. So what can we see from this? We can see that it's got the right name. It says it's beginner friendly. It's in normal tuning, E, A, D, G, B, E. It's in the key of C and it's capo 5th fret. So that means we need to get our capo and squish it on to number 5, which is here. Now let's review the chords. So we have the G chord, which is just here. So you can tells you which fingers to use. Put your second finger up here on the 3rd fret, first finger here, and then your little finger there. You can put 2 down or 1, it's up to you. Remember, this is your new 0, so then you have to count 1, 2, 3 as your G. Next we have E minor. As you can see, it suggests using your 1st and 2nd finger across the 2nd fret, just here. 2nd fret of these 2 strings. This is called the 5th string, this is called the 4th. Some people call it the A string and the D string. Then we have the C chord. This is suggesting using your 3rd, 2nd and 1st fingers. So you put your 3rd here on the 3rd fret, 2nd on the 2nd and 1st on the 1st. If you can't do that, just use your 1st finger here and play the bottom 3 strings. Mini G and then E minor is open. Next we have the D chord. Putting your 1st finger on the 2nd fret, 3rd on the 3rd and 2nd on the 2nd at the bottom there. Just like this. So you've got your 1st on the 2nd fret, your 3rd finger on the 3rd there and your 2nd on the 2nd. And you play the bottom 4 strings. And lastly, we've got the B7. So this is the trickiest of the lot. So it's using all 4 fingers and it's a bit of a squash for your fingers, especially up here. So what you do is you have your 2nd finger on the 2nd fret here, your 1st on the 1st, and then your 3rd on the 2nd fret of the 3rd string there. And then your little finger goes down there. So it is a bit of a squash. Again, if this is too tricky, you can try just doing these 2 notes here. So you're putting your finger on the 2nd fret of the 3rd string, the G string, and your another finger. You can use any 2 fingers, 2 and 3 or 1 and 2, on the 2nd fret of the E string and just play the bottom 3 strings. Okay, so that's the B7. If you can't do it, that's fine. Just leave it out. It only appears occasionally, but it is really nice if you try and perfect it. Okay, so we've got our chords. Luckily, this one's got a strumming pattern, which is really helpful. Some of them don't. But let's just have a quick listen. Okay, it'll repeat, so you can copy it. So if you grab one of the chords, let's try the G, and you're going to go. It has this kind of shuffle rhythm. So give it a go. You can try it with muted strings as well, or if you really want to, you can just clap it out. Dum, 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 dum. Or so pause the video if you're not getting the rhythm straight away and just try and clap along as best you can, or clap along to the original. Let's jump back into the song now. So we start with the G. Play each one twice. Occasionally you'll play something once, but I'll show you that in a minute. So E minor, and then G again, and E minor, then C, D, and G, D, and G. So we've just done this whole section here. Oops. Now it has some faster changes. So we've gone from G to C to D. Then we went to E minor C, D, and now we're coming up to the B7, which is this squished one. So the let's just do that again. So from here, the minor fall, the major lift. It goes like this, the fourth, the fifth, the major lift, the powerful composing, hallelujah. So some of them you kind of do half the rhythm. So the G, it goes like this, so that's normal. The fourth, the fifth, that's split. The minor fall, the major lift, the baffle composing, hallelujah. So the C and the D, they split the rhythm between them. So you're basically doing half of it up to the 2, and then on the 3 you change to the D, and then E minor, the minor fall, the major lift, the baffle composing, hallelujah. And then you go back to playing each one once here, and then I would do twice on this hallelujah. And then we get to the big section, hallelujah. One of these twice. You do C twice, E minor twice, C twice, and then this section you do G, D. You do G once, then D once, G once, then D once, and then you go back into the second verse. Okay, let's go over that again. So we're starting back on the G. Now I've heard there was a secret chord, the slave had played it pleased the Lord, but you don't really care for music, do ya? So each one of those, it feels like you're doing 2 bars, but it's actually just 2 sets. So that is 1 revolution basically. So I might have said before, do it twice, but what I really meant is do that shuffle rhythm twice. So that would be counted as once that I mentioned before. And then if you did it twice, that would be twice. So essentially what I was meaning was you do half the bar of the rhythm and then you do the other half. So now you can see here with the G, now I've heard there was a secret chord, David played and it pleased the Lord. So that is 1 bar of the rhythm, and that is 1 bar of the rhythm, but it's the same thing repeated twice. So you can look at it how you would like. Didn't mention these 3s here earlier. This basically means it's a triplet. So you're always counting 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, just like that. Let's have a bit more of a go. So now we're doing this. But you don't really care for music, do ya? So with this one, you've got this is half the rhythm, and then you do the G and the D, which is the other half. Okay, so this is 1 bar of the rhythm, and then this is the 2nd bar of the rhythm, so the D goes over a bit more. It goes like this, the 4th, the 5th. So this section G is half the bar, then C takes up the 3rd beat, and D takes up the 4th beat, and then you go back into, this is half the rhythm, half the rhythm. The and then it has a little gap. So then you take up the whole rhythm here for this hallelujah. So, and then when you get to the E minor, you do the same thing. Hallelujah, hallelujah. Oops, it's hard to sing it when you're just doing random bits. Hallelujah, hallelujah, hallelujah. Okay, so that is pretty much the whole song, guys. The verse 2 is the same as the first verse. And then it does the hallelujah. Verse 3 is the same. Hallelujah. Verse 4 is the same. And then it does a big outro. And it just does hallelujah lots of times with the same format. You can play the chords as an arpeggio if you felt confident. So here's the arpeggio pattern. I just want to give a big shout out to the writer here. Author unregistered, 9 contributors in total. So all of these guys, big shout out. Really appreciate your assistance here. So let's have a go at the arpeggio now. So it just does the bottom half of all the chords. So with the G, you're going to be going. So you're just playing these strings here. So 6th, 5th, 4th, 3rd, and then coming back up. And then you move to the E minor, you do the same thing. When you move to the C, you start on the 5th string, the A string. And then when you do the D string, you start on the 4th. And then if you really want to practice the B7, this is a great way to do it to make sure all the notes are coming through. Okay, so let's hear how that will sound with the song here. So the only bit where the change happens a little bit quicker is that C, D section. So you probably go from the G, you go to, and then the C, you would probably do 3. So you probably do the first 3 notes of the C and the first 3 notes of the D. So if we went back down to our arpeggio, you do the 3, 2, 0, and then the 0, 2, 3. But the rest of them, you just do the full set. So we got to here. We did all the way up to here, and then hallelujah. You just do each one twice. Hallelujah. Hallelujah. Etc. So guys, hope that was helpful. I'll leave a link for the tab in the description. If you get stuck at all, just let me know in the comments and I'll be happy to help. But hope you've enjoyed that today, and I look forward to seeing you in the next video. Okay, if you like this, like and subscribe. If you want a free course, go down to richcguitar.net and I'll see you in there. All right, take care. Bye.